Hey guys, really wasn't expecting to be making a video like this, but I am. I know I've been gone for a bit, and I know I said I was gonna get back to it, which I am, but then right after I said that, or posted that video, I got a really bad cold. I almost thought it was COVID, and I explained this all in the, upcoming custom video, which will be Captain Hauser. I'm not quite done with him yet. I just started painting his helmet, and I just literally today I got the custom head I got for him in, so that will be fun to paint. Body is done. I haven't printed the pauldron yet, but I already made the file for it, so that should be good. But we're not here for Captain Hauser. We're here for this guy, and I'm not going to go too into how I got this so early, but let's just say it has to deal with someone I know in Canada, and yeah. So, let's get into this review. Also, right before we begin, in case I didn't explain it, I'm filming here because we have company over, and I don't want to wake them, because I can get a little kind of loud, and they're like in the next room from my normal workstation. So I'm right here right now, in my collection room. This is my counter. This is my Lego Batmobile from the Lego Batman movie. You can see a plush of Nathan Drake right there that I've had for ages. But yeah, so let's just hop into the review. And if you didn't know how this works, or how it's always worked on my channel, basically, I start off with the official figure and my custom version of it. So I usually only review figures that I've already customized, which is why you haven't actually seen tech yet, because I didn't customize a tech. So I can't really do my normal format with it, and I wasn't really sure how to review it, but, you know. And as I'm talking, I'm realizing my pen is out of ink. There we go. Captain Rex. Okay, and I'm writing this in real time. Janky. So our last one I did, I'm pretty sure, was Echo, because that's the last one I have in my book. So if you haven't checked that out, go check that out, because that's cool. I still haven't gotten my Hawk yet. They sent it back because they said I don't exist, so that's cool. A lot of things have happened, actually. I got a bunch of Infinity Saw gift. Only this was a Marvel channel. I'm not opposed to doing Marvel content, but I don't make Marvel customs because Marvel Legends does such a good job with it. Anyway, so if you didn't know, I rate these on a scale of 0 to 1 for each section, so a grand total of 5 possible. And we start off with articulation, go on to accessories, then the appearance, or accuracy, I guess, then my opinion, and the price point, which, again, like a lot of Black Series figures, can get kind of hazy, because I did not pay retail for this. I paid just like $10 above retail, because I had a hookup, but still, you might not be able to get him. I'm not sure how distribution is working for the US, because this is before he comes out in the US, but for Canada, he seems pretty relevant. And if I see him in my Walmart, I might pick 1 or 2 up, not to resell, but for customs. I'm not one of them guys that just resells. I haven't resold anything ever before. Usually I'm the one buying from resellers. Anyway, here's the chart if you haven't seen it already, and let's get in with articulation. Okay, starting off articulation with this guy. Standard clone body, you know, he can look up that far, look down about that far, head swivel. I'm off camera. No ankle or head pivot. Body, has basically full rotation. Again, this poncho can't come off. Arm lifts up about that far on my custom. I have a video on this guy, by the way, so I'm not going to be spending too much time on him. Arm moves forward that far, arm moves back. 90-degree bend, up and down right here, side to side on this hand. Legs move up about that far, not far back. Knee joint about 90 degrees. Ankles move up, down, and ankle pivot. So, yeah, basically standard rotation. The only hindrance is the arms with the poncho are made out of the Luke's Landspeeder poncho. And it cannot come off. So, yeah, that's about it. For articulation for the custom, I gave it a 0.5. And that's just because it's just standard clone articulation, but I did minus it 5 points, or I guess 2 points, because I would have gave it a 0.8, but I minused it a couple points for the arms not being able to move that much up or down. Kind of unfortunate with Captain Rex. I mean, yeah. Anyway, let's move on to the official version. Okay, and here we have the official version. Let's move the stand up closer so you can see him. And this poncho kind of engulfs his neck, but it is just the normal Captain Rex body with a poncho on it, so he can look up that far. This is right out of the package, so the joints might be stiff. He can look down that much. Whoa, 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 whoa. What? Oh, bro, you're seeing this in real time. That's crazy. They painted the neck on him. That's can you see that? You can't. It's too dark. They painted his neck. This is an appearance thing, but again, this is right out of the box. I haven't even had time to take pictures with this guy. But jeez, that's attention to detail right there. Anyway, that's the head joint. Body has full movement right there. Arms full rotation. Again, it's basically just the standard Captain Rex body if you already have that figure. Elbows moving very far, not back. The Commander Bly moves back, that's what I was thinking of. Up and down joint right here, side to side right here. Legs move all the way up, not that far back. More than 90-degree bend at the knee. Ankles can move up, can't move down, and ankle pivot. Okay, let's see what his score is. Okay, and I gave the official one a full point for articulation, just because of the better arm movement, and it's just overall the better clone body out of all three of them. Now, we're moving on to accessories, which is going to get kind of sad. I'm going to start off with the custom. The custom comes with no accessories. He does come with guns, but he didn't use guns, so I didn't give it to him in the custom. So, poncho, non-removable. Yeah, so he has no accessories. And I think you know where I'm going with this. He gets a 0.0, which is basically a 0. But for some reason, I wrote it as a 0.0, so he gets a 0.0. But yeah, that's kind of my fault more than anything. I decided to go cheap out on this guy just because I made this when I already knew this guy was coming. And I already knew that I was going to get him. So, no matter what. But yeah. Yeah. So, let's just move straight. There's no need to cut. Let's just move straight on into this guy. His first accessory is the poncho, which I've actually not taken off yet. So we're going to see this first time on camera, trying to figure out how to take it off. It is removable. Hasbro showed that in the press release photos for it. So let's see how easy it is to take off the poncho. It's coming off pretty okay. I just pulled it off like a shirt, and yeah, hey, that wasn't too bad. I thought it was going to be a lot worse. Again, look at that painted neck, bro. Dude, this figure is so awesome already. I love it so much. I'm really thinking about getting another one of these and then giving him a Captain Rex pauldron. Oh my god, I didn't even notice. Look at the lines on the shoulder. Dude, this is the superior Rex, 100%. If you have this Rex, this is an upgrade. I mean, yeah, let's get him on the base. We're talking about accessories. I totally got caught up in the moment. This is the first time I've had him with his poncho off. Which I might just give the poncho to my custom Rex. I don't know yet. We'll see. Anyway, he comes with the poncho from the Bad Batch. He comes with his helmet and added accessory. Because this is removable, and I figured that out. Because out of the package, this was all junked up. It still kind of is right here. You can see it's kind of chewed up a little bit. But this was 100% not Hasbro's fault. I don't think, at least. Pretty sure this was heat warping from being in my car. But that's, you know, that's my fault. It can, again, this has articulation too. This moves separately from this visor. And you can kind of see, this is a completely new mold, if you didn't know. Actually, let's take a look at that right now. You can see the visor is different. This is way more realistic, you can tell. The visor is wider. The paint apps on it are, in my opinion, better. He did never use this visor in the show at all. At least, not yet. We don't know what's going to happen with the season finale. Part 1 of the season finale comes out tomorrow for me. Probably the day that I upload this, to be honest. But yeah, you can see it just goes on right here. I do think it's a little loose. And I've been having that problem with the poncho on too, because I think it rides too high all the time. You can see that right there. But it's just really loose. It's like the helmet, and then it gets stuck. But when it's on, it's just really loose, and it likes to ride up like that a lot, especially with the poncho. So just be wary about that. He also comes with his 2 DC-11s. I think that's the name of DC-17? DC-7? Look, I used to know the number. I don't anymore. It's been a while. But yeah, and I am going to mark him down for one thing, because I haven't modified this Rex yet, and he does not have a trigger finger on this hand, so he cannot hold both of his blasters at the same time. Well, I mean, he can, it just looks very awkward. So, for accessories, I have decided to give this guy a 0.9. And that's what I'm going to stick him with. But overall, man, okay, since we're already here, let's just jump right into appearance. No need to cut, right? This figure is outstanding. This is the best Rex we've ever had. I do think that if you just swap the pauldrons, he'd look 10 times better. Because this, you know, it's not even, they didn't even paint the buttons. It just doesn't look right when you're looking at it, I guess. The rest of this figure, though, man, oh my god, the tally marks, the dirt everywhere, the seam lines, it just looks so good. And I like looking at it like that. Although, I wish, okay, I'm going to try something that I haven't tried yet, and just wish me luck here, okay, guys? Just wish me some luck. Okay, so I did get the visor off. This is kind of warped a little bit. I don't know if that's from the heat in the car or not, but you can see that it looks a little strange. That's very unfortunate that this is molded specifically for the visor to fit on. And actually, no, that's right. That's how it's supposed to go, right? Or is it? No, yeah. Okay, I probably shouldn't have took this off, but you can see that he doesn't have his little earpieces because there has big honking holes you can see straight through for the visor, which is very, like I said, very unfortunate. And this was actually easy to pop off. I didn't need to stop filming. It just pops right on like that. And yeah. That's basically it. You could take it off. It's almost like it's made to be taken off. I don't think it is, but yeah. So he has to at least either cover his J guys or his fantastic visor, which I'm not gonna let him cover his fantastic visor. So I'm not gonna say it's not inaccurate because he might have used that visor before, so I'm not gonna mark him down for having the visor. I will, however, mark him down for not coming with the pauldron. That could have been a separate thing in the box. They probably would have made it deluxe, which they shouldn't have, but this isn't even really glued on there. They could have, since they're going with new molds for everything, they could have made them have just 2 peg holes in there, which here they already do for pauldrons. I've customized before. They could have totally, like, just put a pauldron in there with them, but they didn't. So, I'm gonna mark them down for that. This poncho is very accurate, but, okay, I'm gonna have to stop the recording to put it on, and I'll show you what I have criticism for right now. Okay, now we have the poncho back on. As you can see, it does have like a little bit of a hood that comes up. I don't know if that's like meant to be a hood because, I mean, it can just squash down. This whole neck piece kind of engulfs him a little bit, makes him look a little chunky. But you know, the effects, the effort's there, you know. I'll give it a pass. I'll give it a pass. But while I was putting this back on, actually, I noticed on the helmet, and I didn't notice this before, there is no gray line on the back. Also, on this entire figure, on the back, there's 0 paint. Like, no, sorry. There's 0 paint, and I know I put the poncho back on, but all the weathering that's on the front is not on the back, and it's kind of a stark difference if you think about it, or if you actually notice it. I don't care that much that there's no paint on the back. It does look weird. It looks kind of cheap, especially on the helmet without the gray line. It does look kind of cheap, but overall, I'll give it a pass on the paint besides the gray streak. I'm gonna mark it down a point for that. Another thing that I didn't notice beforehand was, because I tried to swap helmets, and of course I put the poncho back on, so you can't really see the difference if I put this helmet on here, but I'll show you on this one. Oh, actually on camera it does not look that bad. So you can take pictures like this will look fine. But the main point of contention is this is not the same white as this. It's kind of yellower almost. It's actually really weird how different color this is, because the Captain Rex I have here is the white that is on almost all Clone Troopers. You can kind of see the differences here. You see how white this is and how yellowish this looks? Almost like Rex left his armor out in the sun for too long. I don't think that that's like a production flaw or anything. I just think that that's how they chose to interpret Rex from the Bad Batch. They just made his armor a little yellower. So if you wanted to swap the helmets, you can't. You could probably swap the pauldrons and just make this your Rex. I was thinking about that for a while. I don't think I will. Another thing to watch out for, which I'm pretty sure is only on mine, there's a little line, or the weld line's a little bit above where it should be. It should be right on the visor, but it's a little bit up. I don't really care that much. It's hardly noticeable, especially from a distance. But that's just something to keep in mind. So I did give it a 0.8. It was a 0.9 until I noticed the gray line was missing. So now, oh my god, I just broke a piece off the Batmobile. Anyway, let's move on to this guy. And, oh, this is my custom the head's there. Of course the head's there. That's the Captain Rex head. And no, I know what you're gonna say. No, I did not take the head off of this one. I had a spare Rex head because of my custom Old Man Rex and custom Phase 1 Rex. So I have I had a Rex head lying around. I did not waste I did not waste a good Rex figure just to make this piece of garbage when I knew a much better version was coming. Anyway, let's look at the details. The poncho, I didn't think was bad until we compared it to this one. Clearly, it's not supposed to be a camo poncho, but yeah, you know, I'm gonna mark it down on that. The paint app's almost there. Yeah, no, I'm gonna give this guy, just because he has the head, I'm gonna give him 0.3. As the basic necessities of what we needed. I mean, it worked well for me for a while, but comparing it to this one, it's no contest. I'm sure there are much more skilled customizers out there than me that can make much better customs of this guy. But I mean, if you're gonna go through all that trouble, why not just buy it? Before we get off appearance, there is one more thing I wanted to note about the new Rex that I did not mention beforehand. You see this blue line running down him? It is a much larger blue line than this. Let's just set this up here like that, so you can see that. Okay. If you want to know what I was doing, I was actually taking a picture so I could show that off on Instagram. If you haven't already, go check me out on Instagram. I don't post there a lot, but I mean, you'll see customs before they go up on my YouTube channel, so that's a thing. Or you'll see what I'm working on currently, and stuff like that. But yeah, that would be the appearance section. Let's move on to my personal opinion. Okay, now we're on to my personal opinion of this new figure. And I brought all my Captain Rexes down so you could see I'm a very big fan of Captain Rex. He's my favorite Star Wars character. Look how many customs I've made of him. I mean, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on the way. Ooh, is that a secret? I don't know. I might be making another Captain Rex, who knows? I have plans on 2 more, actually. The Endor one, and then Revenge of the Sith one to go with my Revenge of the Sith Anakin. That's also on my channel. Go check that out if you haven't. But yeah, so as you can see, he's my favorite character. In my opinion, this figure deserves the full point just because of the updated everything, really. It's just such a good upgrade from this figure, and this figure was already great. Let me mind you, this figure was already top tier Black Series, and this one surpassed it by a long shot. And I know he doesn't come with the pauldron. This figure was based largely off of concept art, so it falters in that a little bit, but I mean, he didn't even wear the pauldron when he was wearing the poncho, so I think that's mighty fine. Oh no, he has a little scratch. There we go. But yeah, I mean, no contest, right? So I gave him the full point for opinion, but yeah, the helmet's a lot better. The paintwork is a lot better besides the back of him, obviously. And that's another thing that we're about to get into, about the paintwork. But let's move on to this guy. I actually really liked this guy when I first made him. You can go watch my video on him. It's like 5-6 minutes long. It's not a very long video. It's a really short and easy custom. Not a lot of work went into it, obviously. It's getting such low ratings. But I mean, in my opinion, it was a pretty solid contender if I never got this Rex. This other one, even though I know I would, I'll give my custom a 0.6 in my opinion rating, even though I've been so critical of it. I really don't mind how it looks. I mean, it served its purpose very well. He has a poncho. You can see his armor peeking through. I mean, that's pretty much it. He didn't wear the helmet when he was wearing the poncho, so... And I'm still thinking about swapping the poncho on him over and then just having this as my poncho Rex and have him somewhere else, but we'll see what I do with that. Let's see. Oh, price point. That's right. Let's move these much more other Rexes. But I don't know where I was going with that. I was gonna go say much more expensive, but that didn't make any sense because only one of them was really expensive, quotation mark. It really wasn't that much. Anyway, most I've ever done on a custom is about $40 maybe. My customs are really cheaply made, which is why it's actually, I feel like that gives me a little point of contention in the customizing field, because most people drop like $80 to $100 on one figure, and I'm more going on the cheaper end for all of us collectors that like to spend their money on figures and don't have that much money to customize. But you know, I still get there. I have a custom bench full of figures, and then I just keep, like, over time I just keep buying more parts for different figures, and then I'm working on them all at once, and then I get overwhelmed and I get sick and can't work on anything because I'm bedridden, can't even go to work. I mean, it just gets messy, man. It gets messy trying to balance that. But price point is a little hazy. This guy has a Captain Rex head, which you get off of a Captain Rex figure, which would probably cost you on eBay around $40 to $50. But this body is just a standard clone body. You can use any of them. You could use a bootleg for all I care. So I'm gonna average the price out. I've never actually done this before, but I already had this head laying around. This is spare materials made, so I'm gonna go ahead and say that his price point would have been $35. $35. That's what I would price it at. Which doesn't seem like a lot. And I know I should just add the prices up, but I feel like that's kind of unfair since the only thing I use from Rex is Rex's head, and you could easily just buy a Rex head for $15 and paint it yourself. So I'm gonna say that's about $35. I'm still gonna give it a 0.5 for that because I don't think that's that worth it, but it's okay. Yeah, I mean, I would buy it if it was an official, because it's Captain Rex, and I have like 6 of them now, 7 on the way. But this guy is a little hazy, because he's not even released yet. So the price I paid for him was about $40 to $50, depending if you count shipping, somewhere in that range. I don't know, I'd have to look at it. Which, yeah, okay, you overpaid, yeah, I get it, I overpaid, okay, but, I mean, I got him early, so I guess I'm counting in express shipping, because I got him early, and he's my favorite character, and I would have paid $80 for him easily, okay? So I don't want to hear it. If anything, I feel like I got him for a deal. I don't care what the retail price is. Except for right now, I do care what the retail price is, because the retail price for him is $30. That's right. This Captain Rex for retail is the price of an exclusive. And because he's not released yet, I'm going to price him with retail because, I mean, I don't know how easily he'll be accessible. So I'm going to give him the retail aspect. And he does come with a lot. He comes with more than he needs, really, because really he just needs this. He didn't need the helmet, but he came with it anyway, and I'm going to give them a plus for that. I don't think it warrants a deluxe price, though. And I do not think so at all. They could have gave him a lot more. They could have gave him 2 more guns. They could have made his packaging a deluxe packaging, gave him a pauldron. and they just didn't. And they didn't even bother to paint the back of the figure, which is very odd and disappointing. Honestly, I thought it was a mistake at first, because actually, you know what? Before I move on, I'm going to show you the backside just to, like, kind of point out what I mean. Okay, I took the pauldron off, or not the pauldron. The pauldron was already off. Speaking of which, see, this pauldron, they even went through and painted the little buttons. Here they didn't paint the buttons at all. And compared to this one, it does look a little cheaper on the neck. I'm not gonna lie, looks a little cheap. Another thing is, they didn't even weather the belt. And the belt on this is way over weathered, on my opinion. Not weathered here. Looks like he just put on a fresh belt or something. This is where the real point of contention gets to, though. Like, you look at the front, it's like battle-ridden. Then you turn around and he's all scrubby clean. It just doesn't make sense. And the helmet, bro. I don't like it. I don't like that aspect of it. And I already know what you're gonna say. Well, Captain, he wears a poncho. He doesn't always wear the poncho. They made it to be removable. They showed it removable. They knew people were gonna take it off, or they wouldn't even put this thing on or any of this detail on the front. So I'm not going to give them the aspect that just because there's a poncho means they can't paint the back of the figure with at least like a black streak on his back. Like, or at the very least, I would have gave him all the prop. I would have not even made this an issue if they didn't paint, if they painted the gray line. Where is it? It's very frustrating to me. And look how weathered the helmet is on the front of it. And in the back, scrubby clean. Very scrubby clean, okay? It just, and with this is painted in, or molded in a matte black instead of the silver right here. When you look at the back, it's just like a model kit that you didn't weather yet, you know? Like a model kit, you just put it together. You didn't put any of the stickers on yet. That's what it looks like to me. Which is not a good thing. So for the price point of $30 and all this, and I'm not saying the paint apps are bad. Paint apps on the front of the figure are really, really top tier. Probably some of the best clone paint ever. But the paint, there's no paint on the back. And it just really throws all the paint in the front down the gutter. Or at least most of it. I mean, I just can't reason why they would up the price on it, on this specific one, and then skimp out on it as well. So I'm gonna give it a 0.5 for that aspect as well. So they both get 0.5s for the price point. I went on a little rant there, but that's just because, I mean, it feels like that would be standard by now, but it's not. So I'm gonna tally this all up and we'll see what the final results are. And the final tally is, my custom got 1.9. Sorry, it's so blurry. Focus, focus, focus. There we go. My custom got a 1.9, and the official got a 4.2. Not a perfect score, not unlike how Echo got. Echo got a perfect score, spoiler alert. And actually, okay, I was about to say that's the lowest for an official, but the official Clone Wars Obi-Wan only got a 3.75. So he's not the lowest, though. That's good. Has this been out of focus? I was looking at the book. Whoopsies. Anyway, so not too bad, not too great. I mean, it's an awesome Captain Rex, and I still really do think it's an upgrade from this one, which is already great, but it's also a downgrade in some aspects. To make the perfect Rex, it would be to kit bash these two, but they also kind of soiled that by making their armor 2 different colors, which was just an odd choice. I don't I still don't understand that. Not even their newer Clone Wars figures are different colors. I mean, maybe it's because they're... Oh, you know what I bet it was? Their concept art had Rex in the sun, because they were on that junkyard planet where there were no clouds. So the light was reflecting off, and they probably thought that meant that his clone armor was a different color. Out of that, that's my best guess, because otherwise, that's just a really oddball choice right there. So it's almost impossible to kit bash these unless you want to spray it over and repaint literally every aspect of them. Which you already might want to do, or you want to repaint them, because, I mean, at least throw some weathering on them. Look at how loose this helmet is. This helmet is not loose. Well, it looks loose, but the head is actually moving with this helmet. The head is not moving with this one. Anyway, little rant aside, that would be the end of the video. I'm just gonna show some pictures roll by with the Bad Batch, and just comparisons with other characters that you might want to pose them with. And that's the end of the video. If you enjoyed it, go ahead and subscribe. If you want to check out my friends, go ahead, go down in the description, check them out. Probably nobody cared about this, but Emoji U is no more. Yes, it failed, obviously. It was gonna fail from the beginning. But it's fine. But the people that were in it still have channels, so you can go check them out. One of them's FaZe, good friend of mine, good online friend of mine. Never met him in person, but he's cool. Yeah, and you could probably find my Instagram down there too, among other things. And be wary for a new custom video coming out very, very soon, hopefully next week. I'm not promising that, because my schedule seems to kill itself every time I promise a new video next week. So, without further ado, goodbye.